Basketball, a sport that has become a staple in our society today. We all somehow interacted in basketball some way or another, growing up or today. Though when you think of the face of basketball, who comes up? For many, most people think of the greatest player of all time. For a lot of people, that is Jordan. But for many others, that is LeBron James. Today, I will be talking to you why LeBron is the greatest and not Jordan. For many of us, we grew up watching LeBron, and that is what we know. But we never grew up during Jordan's age and didn't get to see him accomplish what he did. We never got to witness his competition and see him accomplish his feats, though we can look back at his highlights and stats of his career and compare the two. I have thoroughly gone through some statistics of both of their careers. In the next couple of minutes, I will hope to show you reasons why Jordan is no longer the GOAT of basketball and why it is now LeBron James. I will first begin with everyone's favorite argument, the ring debate, 6 versus 3. From there, I will talk about the two players' skill sets. And lastly, I will talk about the effect on their teams' overall performances with and without them. When people talk about Jordan, they instantly think about his 6 rings and 0 finals losses. Due to those 6 rings with no finals losses ever, people instantly think of him as the better player. Though it is a very solid point, championship teams are a team accomplishment. This argument is deeply flawed. People always say 6 is greater than 3. Then by that logic, isn't Bill Russell's 11 championships, which is stated by basketballreferences.com, greater than Jordan's 6? Another reason why the 6-ring argument is flawed is it is a team accomplishment. For example, as it is stated by thesportster.com, Robert Horry has 7 rings. If we were to use the same logic in the 6 greater than 3 argument, then Robert Horry would be a better player than both Michael Jordan and LeBron James. And I'm sure most of you have never really heard of the name Robert Horry. From these points, this just proves that the 6 greater than 3 argument just doesn't automatically make Jordan a better player than LeBron. Another point people would always like to say is that Jordan is a better scorer than LeBron James. Yes, he has the ability to score a lot more than LeBron. In fact, he averaged 30.1 points per game throughout his entire career, while LeBron is currently sitting at 27.2 points per game over his career, according to NBAhistory.com. Though if we were going by scoring overall over their entire career, the best player would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm not saying he isn't historically a great player, though he has never brought up in the ring in the greatest of all time debate, really. Though scoring is only one aspect of the player's game. If we really want to look about how Jordan and LeBron affect their teams overall, we really have to look at more than just that. When we look into their averages, LeBron beats Jordan in the other 2 major categories, which would be rebounds and assists, as stated by CBSSports.com. From this, we can conclude that LeBron is able to increase his team's overall performance by boosting the ability to lead in those 2 categories, as well as with scoring for his team. Another example of LeBron being more valuable to his team would be how the Cavaliers performed after he left the first time, versus when Jordan first retired in 1993 for the first time. The Cavaliers went from 61-21 season to a 19-63 season. Big difference, right? Well, when you look at the Bulls when Jordan first left, it is quite the opposite. It is nowhere near how the impact that LeBron made on his team. They went from a 57-25 season to a 55-27 season, only losing 2 less games than the year prior. This just further shows that LeBron had more of an impact on the overall team's performance, and their records can clearly prove it. As you can tell, there is more than just these 3 arguments that I've brought up today, though these are the biggest ones that people use to discredit LeBron as the greatest player of all time. Throughout this speech, I went over the 6 versus 3 argument, the difference between the 2 players' skill sets, and how each of them impacted their teams with and without them. Though I encourage you to look into other sports and regard their greats, for example. Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? Who's better? Thank you for your time today, and always remember, no team in the history of the NBA has came back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals, until LeBron did in 2016 against 5 future Hall of Famers that stood in his way, but that did not stop him from getting his ring that year. Thank you very much.